Welcome to my channel, Nursing with Nantha. Y'all are not gonna believe I literally just sat here and recorded this thing for probably about the last 5 minutes, and it wasn't even freaking recording, so I had to start all the way over. The joys of being new to this, okay? But regardless. So today I wanted to come on and talk to you guys about educating your patients. So I can't believe I did that. So here's the thing. I'm very big on educating your patients and teaching your patients things, right? How else are they going to have a good understanding if you don't do a good job of teaching? It's not always about how big of a word you can say or the medical terminology that you can use. In case you cannot tell, I am not that nurse. So, not that I don't know it in the appropriate setting, I definitely can talk to the CNOs, I can talk to the presidents of the companies and all of that stuff, right? I choose to not interact with my patients like that because I know what it feels like to have somebody speak to you and you don't understand what's going on. Now, I did get permission from my dad to share this story, so he's okay with it. He knows. We laugh about it now. Was not funny at the time. So a couple of years back, my mom got really sick. And the deal was I moved about 300 miles away. So I always tell them, if you need something, just call me and let me know, whether when you're in the doctor's office or at the hospital or anything like that. Call me and let me know so I can explain what's going on to you if you don't get it. So I remember I was on the phone with my dad and my mom while they were in this doctor's office. And the doctor and the nurse are just rattling off all of this stuff. And they're rattling off all of this stuff. And I guess nobody is aware that my dad just keeps saying, yep, yep, I got you. Yep. So I'm kind of snickering to myself, and I said, hold on just a minute. I'm like, Daddy, you are responding kind of inappropriately. Like, do you get what they saying to you? Like, are you understanding? Tell me what you heard them say. So my dad literally starts to regurgitate what they said. And I'm like, yeah, but what do you get out of that? What does that mean to you? And in the midst of it, my dad says, hell, I don't know. I was going to wait till we left so I could call you and ask you what the hell they said, because I don't know what they talking about. So I kind of snickered about it, and I'm like, okay. So I called the doctor's name out, and I'm like, hey, can you explain it to him a little bit different? I was like, because I don't mind explaining it to him. I'm like, but I don't live there. I live 300 miles away. And I'm like, and I need to know that he understands what's going on and how serious it is. It was in that moment that this doctor says, well, what do you do for a living? And I said, well, I'm a nurse, and I've been nursing for a little while. I'm sorry, y'all. My dog is walking right by this cord, and she's gonna pull my phone over. Anyway, so gotta love animals. That's what the stopping is too. Now she decides to go drink like she hasn't already ate and drank this morning. The audacity. Anyway, so I told the doctor, yes, I've been nursing for, at this point, I think it was maybe like 15 years, something like that. So the doctor is like, oh, okay, no problem, sure. I can explain it to him. So he explains it, and then he tells my dad, okay, what's your understanding of it? Tell me what I told you in your own words. So my dad does that, and it's all good. He understands. So I'm telling my dad, I'm like, hey, Daddy, if you don't understand something, like, you gotta say something. You gotta speak up and say something, okay? That's the only way that you're gonna know how we need to move when it comes to this health issue that my mom was having. So he's like, okay, cool. I really like this doctor, and I would recommend this doctor to anybody because of how he is with his patients. It was in that moment that doctor looked at my mom and my dad and said, one thing I'm not going to do is BS you and sugarcoat stuff for you. I'm going to give you what it is, good, bad, or indifferent, straight off the top. And I like that because that's how I am as a nurse, and I feel like that's what patients need. We don't need people that come in and talk to you as if you're beneath them. We don't need people coming in and using all of this medical terminology. Everybody didn't go to med school. Everybody didn't go to nursing school. So everybody doesn't speak the same way and everybody's understanding is not the same. So I ask you, nursing students, future nurses, new nurses, even you experienced nurses, like, let's change the dialogue between nurse and patient, because if we're being honest, who does the patient see the most? They may see the doctors in the mornings or in the evenings or just when they come in for office visits, but who are they talking to the most? So it's our duty. We have a responsibility as nurses to actually make sure that our patients explain what we're teaching them. So you can do that in various ways. You can explain something to a person and then have them, like, explain it to them and then have them explain it to you as if they were explaining it to somebody else. Let the teacher become the student. No, staff, don't do that, baby. Don't do that. That's rude. If you teach somebody something and they can turn around and teach it to somebody else and that person understands, then you know that the initial person you taught has a very good understanding of what you were teaching. That's the whole point of what we do. Like, money is great. It's a beautiful thing. But educating your patients is just as important. You can't walk around here and have people not understanding what's going on just because you didn't want to take 5 minutes to explain it a little bit better. So I ask you, sit down 5 minutes with each patient that you come in contact with and make sure that they have a gainful understanding and knowledge of what's going on with their care. Whether it's a medication or anything like that, make sure that they know some side effects and know the difference between a side effect and an allergic reaction. That's another video, but that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. Have a good day. Be safe. Bye.